delicious. Hi, advisors. Welcome to the next episode of our video blog series, Advisors After Hours. Today, we're talking about my first real planning engagement, lessons learned on communicating value. You see, I launched my business in December of 2013, and I was thrilled at the prospect of setting my own prices, my own hours, and building the business of my dreams. But my first year was a nightmare. And my first real opportunity to provide financial planning after earning my CFP marks was a disaster. It was also one of the best things that could have happened to me, and I'll explain why. I earned the privilege of using my CFP marks in January of 2014 after years of study and 2 attempts. I was super excited. All of that information kept replaying through my mind, and I just knew that those marks meant that I was ready to change my future clients' lives for the better. However, reality can be a motherfucker. As you may already know, very few people outside our industry know what those marks mean or why they matter. When I prospected on my credentials and experience, people would ask questions like, do you mean CPA? Are you a broker? Is that an insurance thing? It went on and on and on. And while I was able to attract investment and insurance clients, I struggled to find a client that was interested in paying a fee for financial planning services. They usually equated investment management with financial planning or insurance. Finally, after months of prospecting and doing odd jobs to stay afloat, I got my first real planning opportunity. It was a retiring engineer that was very socially conscious and wanted to preserve the wealth he had accumulated, reduce his tax liability, plan for his grandkids, and invest in sustainable companies. Now, I must admit, I got a bit excited. This was a great chance for me. I could put all of that great training to work and build this person a plan that would change his world for the better, as well as the people he supported. We started the process with an intro meeting where I told him about my wonderful education and all this great knowledge that I had. Then I gave him opportunities to ask questions. Every time he gave me a scenario, I was ready with a solution. Look, I knew my shit and was ready for it all, except for what really mattered to the client. And more on this later. Then the objections came. First was experience. I had just gotten the marks. Why was I any better than the CFP at the wire house or down the street? Next was pricing. Why pay for planning when I could just move my portfolio elsewhere and get the planning for free? You've heard that before. Then came the size issue. I was a solo practitioner. How was I ever going to service such a large account like his? I sat at this person's kitchen and let him define my value to him because I didn't understand the real pain point for him and what I was truly trying to provide. I learned this when he said the following. Listen, Bill, I can do what you do. It's really not that hard. Just because you have those fancy letters doesn't mean that you're smarter than me or can charge whatever you want. I can Google and find a solution in a heartbeat. Price wasn't his objection. Then he said, I can learn this and put a plan together myself. Knowledge wasn't his objection. You know, when I was your age, I was building homes for some of the biggest names in town. Experience wasn't his objection. Or age. I just don't have the time nor want to add another thing to my plate. The real issue. Time and complexity. I had completely missed the ball. He still hired me, but paid me less than 50% of what I had initially asked for. I provided him a plan with more detail and information than a Michael Kitces blog post, but didn't provide an implementation roadmap and felt like I had left him with a gigantic paperweight binder. Listen, what an experience. I poured all of that knowledge, time, and expertise into a client that didn't see my value. And it was completely my fault. I missed the cues. We never spoke again after I delivered his financial plan. I was initially insulted by what he paid me and thought it was because he didn't understand how much work I put into him. He didn't care. I now know that it was me not properly identifying what mattered to him most, communicating how I could help him, and providing a roadmap for how we would work together through all of his concerns, thus solving his real issues, time and complexity. A few months after that experience and many learning lessons later, I bought on my next real financial planning engagement. Our initial meeting was simple. I sat back and listened to her tell her story first and voice her concerns. I shared my background and experiences, and I highlighted those that were similar to hers. We discussed what the ideal planning experience would look like for her and what my process would be. And I said that my responsibility was to get her where she wanted to be in a manner that was realistic, efficient, and most importantly, based on what mattered to her most. She became a client and still is one today, and she has also become my #1 referral source. Advisors, the most important skill that you can learn in this business is how to understand your client's condition and to communicate why and how you can help them. All of that technical, quantitative stuff is great to know, but the deep, emotional, qualitative information is simply indispensable. Do this and your business will grow. So what do you think? What would you have done differently? Are you a stellar communicator? What was your experience like with your first client? Let me know in the comments, and as always, cheers.